Hello and welcome back. Now, I hope I can express this to you in a nice, clear way that you will understand what's going on. But I think, I'm going to take this off, it's bothering me. I think that it wouldn't have escaped anyone's notice that at the moment there is a lot of negativity on the planet. There's a lot of powerful people stirring up wars, being very selfish and nasty, sort of taking advantage of those in society who have less, even outright murdering people and oppressing people and sort of abusing their power. And there seems to be this big split taking shape. Now, this split has been foretold. It has to happen. There is a point to it, and I'll try and be as clear as I can about it, because I think if you're aware of it and can see it happening the way I'm aware of it and can see it happening, then it will concern you less. Although that's not to say you don't take any action, but it's like it can feel very frightening and worrying. I'm in the UK. Anybody in the UK will be more than aware of the polarisation we have in our government and in our society. There are people in the UK who are just running amok with abuse of power. They are I don't even think they have blinkers on. I think they clearly are making choices to serve themselves and their groups of people that they associate themselves with at the expense of weaker people, the vulnerable, the old, the needy, the poor, the lost, the lonely, the homeless. Our government's a disgrace, and I am absolutely staggered by how many of these type of very narcissistic politicians are running our country at the moment, and you can see their actions are hugely bullying, and they are abusing their power. They are practicing gaslighting, where that basically means that they are putting out misinformation. They are not being direct with people. They're being very manipulative and underhand. And to anyone that's dealt with a narcissist, it's completely clear what they're doing. It's like screaming out at you, my God, these people are holding down some of the most powerful jobs in our country and making the laws of our land, and they are abusing that power to a degree that's just a disgrace and shocking, and it's costing people their lives, their livelihoods, their homes, their health. It's the rest of the country. Millions of people are oppressed and depressed, and the people are committing suicide, and it's all because of choices made by our greedy, power-hungry, narcissistic government. Now, this can be very depressing to look in this situation, to feel powerless as an individual living in the UK. I'm talking about the UK, but actually if you look around the world, it's happening everywhere. It's happening in Russia, it's happening in America, well, not every single country, but many countries. There are these power hungry, usually men. I don't think I'm seeing women doing that, but narcissistic women do exist. But it seems to be in the lead are these men who are just making deals with one another to take all the money and resources out of the system, to the detriment of the population. Now, I don't want to get into big politics or anything here. I'm going to take it up a level to the spiritual level, and that's where we need to see it from. What's happening is there's a polarization taking place on the planet, and it's not an accident. You have the 3D Earth and you have the 5D Earth, and people who are wakening up and doing this spiritual work and seeking out spiritual knowledge, they're being triggered by the 3D situations and challenges in their life. That's certainly helping to trigger people to have them seek answers, and they go to religion, or they go, try and find, the reason, the purpose of their life or whatever, or it triggers in them a desire to stand up and defend those who are too weak to do it themselves. When you have these horrible, challenging conditions that you're living in, there will always be wonderful, brave souls that fight that. And you can see it on the streets of many, many major countries. China, I don't know if you see it in Russia. I don't know if Russian people come out and walk the streets and protest. I don't know. But in a lot of these places where they have the ability to do it, they are out there protesting and standing up for what they believe to be right, which is wonderful, and was foreseen. It's meant we have to go through this dark passage where we separate, where we're polarized. We have the 3D mentality, which is all about looking after yourself and sort of taking what's mine, protecting what's mine, holding on to what's mine. It's a very materialistic type frame of mind, and there are many, many, many 3D mindset people on the earth at the moment. And then there's this other group of people, which are, I'd say, mostly all the light workers that have been seeded down onto the earth over the last number of decades, and they are gravitating to the 5D mindset, which is a unity consciousness. It's about people who have enough helping other people up, so that, it's more of a shared wealth. It's more of a healing call. It's a call to, if people don't have water, to help them have water. If they don't have food, to share your food. If you don't have clothing, to donate your clothing. It's about, helping the weaker, helping people, healing people, sharing with people, bringing about a much more loving, kind energy to the planet. Whilst we're in the middle of trying to do this, being all, spiritual and loving and healing and things like that, you turn to the left and all you can see is people killing each other and blowing each other up and hurting other people and stealing from other people and manipulating other people. And it's like, it just seems like such a huge, swirling mass of negativity that many light workers are finding themselves in. There are a lot of people I follow who seem to have found a way out of these situations, and they're living on the beach in Hawaii, or they're in the mountains of Canada, or they're in the canyons of Nevada, and they're in these wonderful, beautiful, high energy places, or they travel a lot, living wonderful lives off to Peru or something. I often feel very frustrated because I feel very stuck where I am, and I can't get away from the negativity that I feel surrounds me where I live. Tiny wee village. You have people stealing from pensioners, or fighting in the street, or getting very drunk and smashing up things, vandalising stuff, being cruel to animals. It makes you despair. I feel very despairing because I'm trying to be, living this life. I want to be in a community where, you can make food and share it with people, or you can, I don't know, I just want to be living in I think hundreds of years ago, in a different type of society than I'm living in at the moment. And what the teachings are sort of saying to me as I'm doing my own research into this type of thing and wondering what it is I'm supposed to do, the teachings seem to be saying this is all happening for a purpose. We have to go through this dark passage where those souls will either choose to remain in a 3D mentality. That's the ones that are all, you know, beating up their dogs, or they're, you know, robbing their grannies and, you know, fiddling, defrauding the bank or whatever. There's a large amount of the population do not want to change their lives. They don't want to expand their knowledge. They are locked down. Those souls are still working through stuff at the level they're at, and that's apparently okay. They're going to stay in the 3D world that they're in with other 3D souls, and they're going to, you know, learn those lessons that they need to go round again and again and again until they start to wake up to, and their time will come in the future. They will wake up and they'll be able to make a kind of transition. The light workers that all came down to help the planet raise its energy so that it could transition to a 5D planet, which will literally separate on an energetic level. It will sort of, I think it occupies mostly the same space, but it's on a different vibration. A bit like radio frequencies, you know, they're sharing the airspace, but you can only pick them up if you're tuned to the right thing. Now, the 5D souls, and that's probably everybody watching this video, because if you're going to watch a video, I don't know what I'll title this or whatever, but if you're drawn to watch my videos, then you're on the path. You want to wake up. You have questions, you're seeking answers, and you are, you know, the very fact that you're questioning and taking a moment to look at anything that I could produce or other people like me means that you are more likely to be going over to this 5D world that's being created. It sort of exists, but there's a transition to it at the moment, and we're all in the process of getting there, and I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know if I'll ever see it, you know, in this current form. I think at the moment there's a sort of battle between light and dark, and what the universe wants to do is to give as many souls as possible the opportunity to transition from the 3D world into the more it's just a happier, kinder, gentler, more loving world, where you're not going to have wars, and you know, you're not going to have all this disparity, or, you know, money probably won't exist, time doesn't exist. People will be able to create, you know, food and things that they need, clothes, you know, it would just be a very, very, very different experience than what we have here. There'll be no homelessness and no hunger, no poverty, and no depression and no suicides. It will be what we consider paradise. Really, it's just a more of a planet filled with people like ourselves who you know, don't have a malicious bone in their body, and only a desire to, you know, be better people and to do good. So what's happening is there's this big battle going on for souls, and all the light workers coming down on the planet are wakening up to this desire to, in some way, connect, you know, with the wider audience and share their knowledge. I believe a lot of people that know me, out with all my groups and things that I follow, you know, many of them might think I've lost my mind, or, you know, I'm a bit deluded, or, you know, I've had a hard life and, you know, something's flipped. That's okay, but I really have this desire not to leave a man behind. You know, I want to share wisdom as I receive it, share ideas, share exercises, share concepts, to reach out and connect up my energy with everybody that watches my videos. I'm doing it right now, and try and raise up your vibration enough that you start questioning your life, your role in your life, and that, you know, what's happening around you. Become empowered to make changes, and you know, be happier, healthier, more fulfilled, and join into this wonderful soup of unity consciousness and wonderful healing energy that exists on the planet. And the more people we can shine a light to, reach a hand out and help over, you know, the more will be going with us when that transition happens. I think it will be nobody knows, I don't know. I don't have direct information from source, but I have listened to a lot of very wise people, many of whom, you know, do have good channeled information. And this division is happening, and we have to go through this dark passage of the polarization, where people are going to choose to go one way or the other. And looking at our political systems, really it's just magnifying what's already in a lot of people's hearts. It's drawing out the poison in us, you know. It's bringing up these situations right in front of you. So you're saying to yourself, what do I believe? Who am I? How do I want to live? And these choices are coming front and centre, and you're having to choose, am I going to help someone or walk over the top of someone? You know, it's clarifying it. It's actually empowering a lot of people, because it's just going, oh no, you know, I'm all for helping yourself or whatever, but I just kind of stand by and see you do that to that person. So I'm going to go in that march, I'm going to sign that petition, I'm going to march down to the food bank and hand them a big bag of food, I'm going to send a donation here, or I'm going to turn up and help, you know, feed the homeless here, or I'm going to donate my winter coats. The people are being triggered to action, and as they are triggered to action, you receive, it's like your energy lightens, you receive this wonderful connection to the universal source, because that's what universal source energy makes you do. So it's all happening for a reason. We're in this horrible, where many of us are in very ugly situations and very real dramas going on in our lives, and we've been put in those situations to trigger our awakening, search for answers. You know, we have a lot of help in the spirit world reaching down to us, trying to inspire us to different action. I believe I'm inspired to produce these videos. People watching it from however many, I don't have a huge subscriber base, but it might reach somebody that when they hear it, they don't feel quite as overwhelmed or depressed by what's happening in the world. They will see it for what it is. It's just making things very black and white for people, so that they can choose to stay in 3D mentality or seek out answers, you know, in a more 5D style of living. So I want you to have a wee think about that and see if it reflects in any way a situation you're experiencing. If you can look at the souls who are choosing to remain in the 3D mentality, and I would say to you that you really need to try and distance yourself, either energetically or physically, from people who are lowering the energy tone of your environment, you know, and affecting you in a negative way. We will find that the 5D people, or the people who are going towards 5D mentality, they will start to find one another and congregate together and build communities, and it will become much easier. I don't know how long this dark tunnel is going to last. We're well into it. It's been going on a while, and you know, you don't need to look too far on the television or the newspapers to see awfulness happening in the world. And what you need to try and do is not hook yourself into that. I'm not saying don't care, don't send healing. I'm saying don't be dragged into that 3D mindset where you don't feel empowered to make a change, to have a different life than what it is. I mean, you might be surrounded by alcoholics or drug users or, violent natured people, but you don't need to be one. You can just choose to go off and read your spiritual books and, write your poetry or sing your songs or grow your plants or care for, the little neglected cats or whatever it is. You go off and do what your soul calls you to do, and you pursue the learning, never stop learning and being open to, the magic and the wonder that's in this world at the same time as all that negativity, because the 5D universe, it's here, it's forming, it's becoming more and more complete as each person completes their own journeys. And you will at some point, we will find ourselves living with other light workers and 5D minded people in a much more beautiful world. It won't happen like instantly. It's not like walking through a door and finding everything technicolor and you can snap your fingers and food arrives or whatever. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be subtle. You're just going to find that the negativity falls away, much in the same way as I said in a previous video, that as you raise up your energy, the negativity can't exist in that same space. So focus on yourself when you see nasty, awful things happening in the world. Yes, you can send money or blankets, or you can do your bit in a physical way. Take action in this 3D world that we are currently still in. But at the same time, know that it's just a process that we have to go through, that you have chosen to experience this. You've volunteered to come down and not get dragged into that, not join them, not fight it in a a physical way, because if you start being abusive back or confrontational and all this kind of stuff, you become that. So you have to stay above it, stay out of it, helping from a little bit of a more distant perspective, constantly working on your own energy, coming back to body, drawing the energy in and all that kind of stuff, and continue to focus on your own awakening and evolving, and look hard, because I don't see many about me in my real world, but look for signs of other people who are also on that light worker path, who are trying to wake up as many people as they can before the split ultimately happens. It could be, I don't know, it could be 30 years, 50 years, 100 years from now. When the split does happen, there's going to be so much negativity left on the 3D planet that it will really be an awful place to be, because the light will be moving. Everyone who has attained a certain level of wakefulness and high vibration will be able to go to the 5D earth and live a very different kind of life to what we're living here. And those that are left behind, there will be wars, there will be a lot of natural disasters. I apologise, my cat's on the table at the moment, so if you see a big tail or something, or it knocks over the camera, it's my cat. She's a pest. It's raining outside. You'll notice on the planet at the moment it's been a huge increase in natural disasters. And that is not an accident. It's not like it's not happening by accident. It is Gaia, is part of her growth process, and she is bits of the planet are being upgraded bit by bit by bit, rather than like just destroy the planet. It's like reborn bits of the planet are being reborn, but it's the cycle of life, you know. Things have to go, you know, in order to clear energies, negativities, and it's just part of her expansion and her growth. Gaia is a lot of that, you know, her vibration's changing. When vibrations change, it shakes free negative energy, and this is presenting itself as earthquakes and, you know, tidal waves and floods and fires, and these natural disasters are going to increase and become more and more and more. And what you have to see them as part of a birth process. As Gaia births this new 5D world, there will be, you know, there has to be these shifts and changes on the old 3D world. And when this split does happen, the 3D world is going to be, you know, facing a lot more of that type of thing. It will, a lot of the modern technologies and things aren't going to survive, because all it's going to take is one big earthquake and the houses are down and the electricity's cut out and the plumbing's gone, and people will be going back to a much more, you know, basic existence. If you look to the Bible, and you're seeing all these, you know, the great floods and Sodom and Gomorrah and things like that, and even history and mythology, the Atlantean world, apparently, you know, a lot of people became obsessed with power and materialistic things and started to abuse the knowledge, and that civilization got wiped out. And that has happened, you know, across our history. From time to time, you know, there has to be a sort of wiping of the slate and a starting over. And that's not to say that any of these areas affected by natural disasters in any way are being chosen because, you know, they deserve it in any way. It's just the way the earth is shifting in general. There's a lot of negativity on the planet, and in order to raise its vibration, to make this transition, these things are coming up in the same way that in our human souls. In order for us to make a transition to a higher level of awareness, the negativity in our worlds have to fall away, and that might include losing your home, losing your job, losing your partner, you know, health scares, things like that. There's negativity that kind of goes hand in hand with a raising of the vibration, and that's all happening in the planet, and it's all speeded up and condensed at the minute. It's as if time is being compacted a little bit too, so time is moving very fast and things are very dramatic, and we're at the nub of it all. You know, all the light workers are being encouraged and, you know, having this pressure put on them to step up now, to become more active, to step into the light, to put out the call, to produce their materials, you know, to be talking about this stuff, to be reading books, to be writing books. It's all happening now. It's a battle, but not in the traditional sense of us all going out and, you know, killing each other. It's a battle for negativity, you know, and positivity. So you're going to be given these choices in your life, and you're going to have to look at how you're living your life and sort of start making higher choices with things, so that you can be gravitating more into the light and away from the negative people, the negative situations, all the drama and the ugly things that are happening on the earth at the moment. When you see them for what they are. It's a shaking loose of the negativity. It's encouraging you. It's, you know, it's like magnifying what's going on, and you're being encouraged to walk a different path. That's what it's all about, okay? So it's certainly not dull, and I hope you embrace it and kind of try and go with the flow of these changes that are happening in the world, and reach out, try and find people who inspire you and can, you know, help raise your vibration. Start exploring what you can do to help the world, because that's one of the fastest routes to raising your vibration, is to help others. If you can help other people in any way, then you will indirectly be helping yourself. You know, if you're doing it with just that thought in mind, that person needs help, I can help, I'm going to help. You know, it just automatically puts you more into that higher vibration level. It activates those parts of your system, your soul's journey, get activated, and you're going to gravitate more towards this new world that's coming. I'd love to see it. I'd love to be in that place where, you know, life is a bit different to what it is at the minute, where the negativity has fallen away, much as it has in this microcosm that is my home. The cat's back again. Much as it is in this microcosm that is my home, where I have removed a lot of the negativity from this environment, and that, you know, I feel much happier here, and there's a much lighter atmosphere. It's very healing. It's just it feels different on an energetic level to what it did before. And when we get more into this 5D, which is a gradual phasing process, you will notice your life feels better. There's more joy, there's more passion, there's more creativity, there's more happiness, there's more love. You know, it's a much more loving environment where people are more genuine and decent and kind. And boy, that'll be just wonderful, won't it? So I'm reaching out to everyone that wants to come and join me in that lovely planet. I'm warning you about what's going on at the moment, not to get dragged into that negative energy that's being generated, because, you know, darker energies would like as many people as possible. You know, they want to hold on to the power they've got. They want to keep the 3D going. They don't want Gaia to go off and create this beautiful new world where they can't get to. They want to keep us all here and feed off our light, and, you know, keep this machine going that you know they're comfortable in. It's comfortable for their negative energy, and we want to just, you know, move on from that. Bless it, bless it, bless it. Let's all go. Let's all go to the 5D earth, and, you know, just be living it up there with one another. So I hope that's given you something to think about, some ideas about how to regard what's happening in the world at the moment. Just go away and mull that over and see if there's anything that you feel called to do or change in your world that, you know, feels more true to yourself than maybe the life you're currently living at the moment. Just pursue authenticity, pursue what makes you happy, without harming others, and you know, we'll get there. Okay, right, I'm going to leave you with that. I will be updating you on things as stuff comes through to me, as I'm learning more. If I hear a bit more about the progress of what's happening, the event, I think they call it, then I'll be passing that along to you as I know. This is me doing my part. I'm trying to do my part in sharing the knowledge that I have gained and making people think. Just think. See if you agree or disagree or whatever. Okay, please, if you can, like and share videos that speak to you. That would be a big help in reaching as many people as possible, because that's my goal with this channel. I don't sell anything, I don't make any money. I'm just doing this because I feel called to help others help themselves. Okay, so God bless, and I'll speak to you again soon. Take care.